This week on AEW Dynamite, the promotion continued to build up to the next week's AEW Grand Slam. The AEW World Championship match was confirmed for Dynamite Grand Slam after this week's show, and we also got new details on Stokely Hathaway's faction. So yeah, it's a big show this week on Dynamite, and let's get straight into it. And we kick things off with Jon Moxley versus Sammy Guevara in the Grand Slam tournament semi-finals. Guevara had an excellent start to the match, but immediately started bragging, giving Moxley an opening to hit back. The match spilled outside the ring, and Guevara slammed Moxley headfirst onto the steel steps. Moxley then hit back and sent Guevara crashing into the timekeeper's table. Back in the ring, more back and forth before Guevara locked in the walls of Jericho. Moxley then broke free, but Sammy took him down with a cutter for a near fall. The former tried to lock in the bulldog choke, but Sammy hit with a Spanish fly. Both Mox and Guevara were down at this point, and Anna JS and Tane Meadow came out. Anna distracted the ref while T sneaks in with a low blow to Mox. Guevara quickly went for a cover, but it wasn't enough to put Moxley away. Guevara then tried to lock in the GTH, but Moxley reversed it into a Death Rider and pinned the former TNT champ. And yeah, let's get 7 out of 10. Despite all the heel distraction and stuff like that, Guevara still coming out on top. Moxley's already still coming out on top, which for me is the right decision. Guevara didn't look like a total lean here, still got some offense in, but Moxley definitely the right decision, get the win. 7 out of 10. MJF was out next, and he was still thinking about his confrontation from last week with Jon Moxley. MJF said he didn't have any fear in Moxley's eyes, which pissed him off. He continued to run Moxley down alongside his childhood. He then credited Moxley for getting sober and slaying his demons, but he added that he was much more dangerous than Moxley's disease and couldn't be slayed. He addressed the help he got in winning the Casino Battle Royal. He invited Stokely Hathaway and the firm to come out on Dynamite and joined him in the ring. After they reached the ring, MJF hugged Hathaway and left, and he claimed that his best friend MJF wanted to quit AEW until he advised the lad to stay and grab what he deserved. He added that the firm was there to be MJF's support system and introduced the members W. Morrissey, Lee Moriarty, Ethan Page and the Gun Club. And yeah, this is a really interesting stable with MJF leading it. Definitely intriguing, great promo from MJF as you'd expect, and yeah, a lot of intrigue to come out of this stable, so yeah, this was good stuff. I'm very intrigued to see where it goes. It was then time for Jungle Boy versus Jay Lethal. Jungle Boy dominated the opening stages and sent Lethal crashing out of the ring and was about to go for a top rope suicide, but the giant Saturn Singh stood in front of Lethal at ringside, stopping Jungle Boy in his tracks. Jungle Boy then headed to the top rope, but Lethal sent him crashing down as we cut to a break, and back from it was Lethal on top. He went for the Lethal injection, but Jungle Boy took him down with a lariat. Jay then hit back with Russian leg sweep and went for a Lethal injection again, but Jungle Boy blocked it, but Lethal hit a top rope suicide instead, followed by an elbow strike. Jungle Boy went for the snare trap, but Sonjay on the apron was there to distract it. He then took out finally blocking in the snare trap, leading to Lethal tapping within a few moments. And yeah, let's get to 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, did its job really, put Jungle Boy over, no Christian Cage for a while, so I guess we'll do a Luchasaurus program, but we'll have to see how it goes. But just a good match to put Jungle Boy over, did its job. Before it's time for Powerhouse Hobbs in the squash match against Matt DiMartino, and yeah, making short work for him, hitting a devastating Silent Buster almost as much as the match began, and that was enough. He took the mic after the match and said he'd beaten Starks all out, and it was now time to write a new chapter. Starks came down through the crowd and hit the ring. He attacked Hobbs, sending his former partner scampering out the ring, and the feud is far from over. Yeah, I mean, that was the main talking point. The promo was alright, the match was as we expected. So yeah, 6 out of 10. But yeah, no, it doesn't seem like these two have anything immediate coming out, so I guess continuing the feud would be the right thing to do while I have something else. And yeah, for starters, still a lot of unanswered questions, so yeah, it does make sense to continue the feud, really. Before it's time for Legendsworth versus the Lucha Bros for the tag belts. Lucha Bros got a chance to become double champions, of course, and the champions made a strong start to the match, though. Swerve, however, and Penta started things off before Keith and Phoenix tagged in. Lee then rocked Phoenix with a right hand, but the smaller man hit back with chops of his own. Lee then took Phoenix down with an overhand strike before Penta tagged in, and Lucha Bros hit Lee with a double super kick. Penta then continued to wear down Lee with a series of low kicks followed by right hands. Lee looked to be in a slot of bother as Phoenix tagged in and continued to work on Lee's left leg. The former WWE star tagged out and Swerve came in and hit Phoenix with a spinning elbow for a 2 count. Penta tagged in and Phoenix launched himself out of the ring as Lee, who caught in midair, and Penta went for a cover on Swerve. Lee tossed Phoenix into the ring and broke the cover, but Lee tagged back and Phoenix hit an SC breaker followed by a headbutt to Penta. Penta then with a super kick to Keith Lee, followed by Phoenix hitting Swerve with a Spanish fly. Phoenix then headed to the top rope, but Swerve pushed him off in the nick of time, and Lee hit Penta with a big bang catastrophe, picking up the W in an absolutely banging match. It gets an 8 out of 10 from me, and yeah, seriously, it was just such a brilliant match. And yeah, Lee and Swerve, I guess it's the right decision coming up, but Lucha Bros certainly didn't have any harm in that loss, so yeah, great stuff, 8 out of 10. Pac was then backstage with Alex Marvez commentating on Lucha Bros losing their title match before Orange Cassidy took the former down with a cheat shot and said he was coming after the All-Atlantic Championship, which seems like we're going to get a Grand Slam. Yeah, looking forward to that. It's going to be a banger. And then it was time for Serendipity and Britt Baker versus Athena and Toni Storm. Deeb and Storm started things off. Storm had a hammerlock locked in and they exchanged holds and takedowns before exchanging chops in the corner. Athena then tugged in and Baker distracted her from ringside and Deeb caught her with a chop block as we headed into a break. Baker tagged in and hit a dragon screw before Athena seemed to be favouring her left knee heavily at this point. Deeb tagged in and continued to punish the fallen goddess. Athena finally found her opening after hitting Meteora and immediately tagged out. Deeb then locked in a single leg crab on Toni Storm. Athena broke out the ensuing cover with a senton. Reba then got on the apron to distract the ref, but Baker had a chair as Deeb tossed Storm headfirst into it. This was enough to put Storm away, and Serena pinned Storm with a roll up. After the match, Baker and Deeb continued to punish Athena and Storm before Jamie Hayter ran out, grabbed a steel chair out of Britt's hands, took out Storm. She still hasn't on the same page as Doctor, refusing to accept her apology after Baker cost her the title All Out. And you know, it is an interesting angle. I thought we all knew it come to this at some point when the match All Out happened, and yeah, they're doing it in quite a nice way as well. So yeah, get 7 out of 10 from me. Definitely some intrigue to see where it goes, and the match was really, really good as well. Looking forward to seeing them all square off a Grand Slam next week. It was then time for Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson in the Grand Slam tournament semi-final, the other one, and they were trading chops to begin with. The latter followed up with a running boot in the corner before Jericho hit back with right hands before taking Danielson down with a shoulder charge. Jericho was then crashing out of the ring and Danielson followed up with a slicing drop kick and a leaping knee strike from the apron. Danielson headed the top rope and following up with a shotgun drop kick followed by a diving headbutt. Jericho hit back with German, and back from the commercials, Jericho and Danielson were still trading strikes, and Jericho went for the lion salt for a 2 count, and Jericho went for the Judas effect again, but Danielson countered with a German suplex and locked in the cattle mutilation. Jericho started to strike Danielson across the jaw, but it didn't have much effect. Both men traded chops again. In desperation, Jericho sent Danielson crashing out of the ring, which he seemed to hurt his ankle. Jericho left the ring and went right after his injured foot, but he sent Danielson's foot crashing into the ring post. Back in the ring, Jericho was all over him and tried to fight back, but Jericho locked in the walls before Danielson broke free, but Jericho immediately locked back in a figure 4. Danielson managed to break free again and locked into the bell yoke against all odds, forcing Jericho to tap out. A proper babyface victory there. After the match, Moxie walked out to the ring and shook Danielson's hand. The latter pointed to the BCC stablemate as the show went off the air. And yeah, it looks like we're getting BCC v BCC next week for the title, and I can't wait for that. It's a tantalising prospect, the match that we've all been waiting for. And in terms of this, yeah, it was just really great. 8 out of 10. Babyface overcoming the victory, told a nice story throughout the match, and yeah, we're getting that match next week, which is just going to be an absolute banger. 8 out of 10. Overall this week, Dynamite gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I thought it was a really great episode of Dynamite this week, I have to say. You know, such great action throughout the card. No real dipping points as well throughout it. Continuing storylines, and all the matches pretty good as well. So yeah, on the whole, a really, really, really good episode of Dynamite this week. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks very much for watching. To like, share, subscribe, let thoughts, comments down below, and follow to the show for daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.